All right, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. You guys know what time it is. We're going to be talking about XRP, see what is happening, talk about the price itself, some news. I'm going to share my personal thoughts as to what's really going on. So if you're looking at the market, you are seeing quite a bit of red across the board. If you watch a series of my updates over the course of the last few days, I said let's not get super excited because dominance is still, on the verge of breaking out. But, specifically today, some news about, global tensions, is causing the price of Bitcoin, I think, reacting to that specific news. So we're going to see what happens going into, Monday morning. But as of now, Bitcoin is sitting at some very, very critical levels, which we will talk about as well. But I want to really start off by talking about some of the news, what really is next for XRP, and kind of going over some things I want to share with you guys. So if you're an XRP holder, you do want to watch this video till the absolute end. And of course, let me know in the comments your personal opinion and your thoughts. So this is something, if you follow my channel from the beginning, I take a look at, quite heavily. So interest over time, this shows you how many people, so retail or people in general, that are actually out there researching XRP. We saw this uptick back in November of last year. Since then, even though we're pretty much more than halfway through the year of 2024, and we saw the SEC lawsuit kind of come to an end. Of course, some people are still saying they're going to see an appeal. We'll see what happens, but you still have not seen the Google searches actually hitting that new record high for the course of the last 12 months alone. So what is this telling you? What kind of picture is this painting? This is showing you the retail interest is still quite low. And yes, some people are going to come out and say, even though the retail interest is low, why is, due to the announcement itself, why is the price of XRP not going towards, more of the upside? I'm going to kind of, go a little bit more into detail as that. And I even mentioned to you guys in the recent updates, XRP actually is holding much better than a lot of people anticipate. People get emotional. People just talk about, the price not seeing those explosive moves that a lot of people want. But sometimes, that just does not happen. And there's a lot of factors into it. Maybe it's, manipulation. Maybe there's actually bears that are actually trying to keep the price of XRP down. There's a lot of things that, go into it. But, considering the price action specifically, it is looking much, much better compared to our yearly high just this I'm sorry, not the yearly high, some movements that we saw in just the last 2 to 3 weeks. Compared to that, XRP is holding much better. And again, I'll go a little bit more into detail, but before we go into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So you could see this Ripple ETF and Ripple IPO in 2025. Could we actually see that? And if you are an XRP OG, I wouldn't even say you have to be an OG. If you've been pretty much here for the course of the last 2 to 3 years, you've been hearing about Ripple IPO. So not XRP IPO, Ripple IPO. And does this bring, attention to XRP? I believe, yes, it does. Again, obviously, only time is going to tell as to what this does, but this would be revolutionary. This would be a major, major milestone. And if you have been in the space, Brad Garlinghouse has been talking about, an IPO after everything comes to an end in terms of this lawsuit, which we're looking at, and it seems to be concluding. So you can see Garlinghouse says people should expect a Ripple IPO by 2025. The big win in court moves Ripple closer to that, and again, doesn't surprise me. So you could see this for yourself. Garlinghouse stated, people don't want exposure to just one commodity. To me, it only makes sense. You don't want to have it just a single threaded asset exposure. I think people also forget that it wasn't that long time ago, before the SEC got involved, that XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. A huge, huge statement that he's making, and I totally agree with that. You guys know on this channel we keep it 100% unbiased, and that's just the truth. In terms of the most valuable, it was, I wouldn't say the second. I think obviously there's a little bit of bias coming from Garlinghouse himself. It was the third, and if not the fourth, because of course the stable coin, the tether kind of fluctuates between third to the fifth spot. But we were seeing XRP back up there at that time. But in terms of the XRP ledger, if you compare it a few years ago and compared to where it's at now, you're looking at some complete different level of expansion, and you're actually seeing it being at the forefront of tokenization, and actually companies and massive entities actually using the XRP ledger to tokenize real world assets. And that is what's bringing in a lot of excitement, of course. And look at this for yourself. We're seeing a lot of big money being moved into the wallets, and you can see this for yourself. This is the one that kind of got a lot of people talking just on August 5th. 23.4 million XRP, which is about $10.5 million transferred from Binance to unknown wallets. So what you're looking at is a lot of people, these whales, these massive players are actually moving their XRP into the wallets. Usually when you see the money moving onto the exchange, people start getting panicked that are these guys going to sell? But usually when it goes to a wallet, it tends to make people think that these are people actually holding it for the long haul. So of course this is not something new. In terms of whales moving big amounts of XRP, we've been seeing that for quite some time, and on-chain data says that all. But here you can see this for yourself. Here's a powerful statement from blockchain data company statement on elevated XRP whales. So you can see XRP ledger, among one of the best performers in July, has been powered by high on-chain activity. Major whale transactions level and network growth helped propel the coin's 35% month, and social dominance is now sky high as the asset has mildly retraced. These are some things a lot of people forget as to what's really happening. People solely focus on just the price. And speaking about the price, like I said, it's looking much better than a lot of people think. But I kind of want to touch a little bit more on this. Can RLUSD, a lot of people, are talking about this specific thing. You could see, what Celsius sues Tether, demanding $2.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. And Ashley Proposer brings up a very good point. I'm going to share my personal thoughts with this. So you can see, now we'll see if Tether can weather the storm. I have a feeling RLUSD will be ready just in time. And one thing I want to put into perspective for you guys is, I know a lot of XRP and the Ripple fanboys are going to come out and say, oh yeah, RLUSD will take over Tether. But honestly, that is a huge statement to make. Let's face it, Tether is third market cap and has a market valuation of $115.6 billion. If Tether, and in terms of Tether FUD, it's been happening for years and years. And let's face it, if you are an XRP holder, if you're a crypto holder in general, the reality is, if Tether collapses, you are going to see the biggest black swan event in the crypto history, in my opinion, because a lot of people don't realize how big that really would be if USDT collapses. Could that happen in the future? Again, there's been a lot of shady things obviously over the course of the past few years. I'm not just talking over the course of the last 12 months or the last few years. We've been hearing a lot of shady things that kind of don't add up, but as of now it's still here. But that is a huge thing a lot of people need to realize. Could RLUSD really get to 115.6 billion market valuation? It's not that's not a possibility, but it is a huge stretch. We have a lot of other stable coins out there, and RLUSD could get there. So let's see what happens. But I think coming in saying straight up that you're going to see RLUSD go and replace Tether, I think it's still quite a big big statement to make. Anyhow, let's take a look at what's happening with dominance. So if you're looking at dominance index right now, guys, this thing is skyrocketing. And again, this is what I mentioned to you guys yesterday. Even though we saw a little bit of a pullback, I said let's not get excited because dominance is on the verge of breaking out, and you can see a new yearly high once again for the dominance. And Bitcoin has seen a retracement, and a lot of people just focus on XRP's price. If you're literally ignoring the price of Bitcoin, well, you're making a massive mistake. You can see this for yourself. Bitcoin has dropped about almost 6%, you can say, over the course of the last 24 hours. And I think it's due to some global tensions. I'm sure if you guys are on Twitter, you know exactly what that is. But I think it's looking like over the last 3 days we did see the price of Bitcoin remaining above this key support line and actually closed its daily candle, but this time around it's looking like we will close it below this. And the next major support is around the 57,800 mark. But despite that fact, I've been mentioning to you guys, I know XRP is not seeing those explosive moves, but understand, dominance is still quite high. Retail interest is not anywhere close to where you think. But one thing I keep mentioning to you guys is XRP is at a much better price compared to where it was in terms of Bitcoin's all-time high, and only a few are understanding that. Right now you are seeing the price of XRP below the key support level, which of course is a resistance now coming in our way. And if you want to put this into perspective, actually let's just take a look at it. Where's XRP? It's down about 6%. It's pretty much close to what Bitcoin is down, and again, that is due to the market correlation. But I've been talking to you guys about this from the beginning. Once you cross the 79 cents mark, which we actually, were back above in July, I'm personally thinking, once you cross this number, this key resistance, that's where you see the price of XRP having excitement coming into it. But let me know your personal thoughts down below. Let me know, what do you think about the IPO? Do you think an ETF is coming closer? Some people are going to come out and say, ETF is absolutely not going to happen. Well, what makes us, say that is not, possibility? Because look what's happening with Ethereum, and look what's happening with Bitcoin, of course. So only time is going to tell. Let me know down below what you guys think. Love you all. See you tomorrow in Crypto ZX. Peace.